This episode of ETC is brought to you by Go90. Hey guys, welcome back to News Dump.
So Wes Anderson's definitely the kind of filmmaker that you either love or hate. I obviously love him. I wouldn't be wearing this shirt otherwise. Films like The Royal Tenenbaums, The Life Aquatic, Moonrise Kingdom, Rushmore, and The Grand Budapest Hotel have a very distinctive style and an even more distinctive and extremely dry sense of humor that people like me love and people like you hate.
Yeah, well, we love his movies. Call us hipsters if you want, because words can't bring me down. One of Anderson's most unique movies was 2009's The Fantastic Mr. Fox, his stop-motion adaptation of the classic Roald Dahl children's novel. And now, thanks to IndieWire, we know that his next movie will also be a stop-motion animated film with animal characters. This time, dogs instead of foxes.
Which is kind of ironic because Anderson has a history of treating dogs really poorly in his movies. Based off how many dogs he's wounded or killed, you'd be pretty safe to assume that he doesn't like dogs. And sure, maybe he doesn't.
Yeah.
Maybe this movie will just be a dog bloodbath.
Yeah, we also know who will be starring in it, thanks to friend of the show, Jan Casey at Nerdist, who reported that at a recent performance by Jeff Goldblum's jazz band here in LA, which is a very unique experience. If you're ever here, you should go see him. Goldblum revealed that he'll be starring in the project alongside Bryan Cranston, Edward Norton, and Bob Balaban.
Goldblum also revealed that the movie will be Japanese-inspired, whatever the hell that means. The movie's still just in pre-production, so details are very scarce, but this news is sure to make any Wes Anderson fans out there very excited, as well as any fan of Bryan Cranston, who's just quickly filling up his work schedule with awesome-sounding feature films.
I'd say out of all of Anderson's movies, Fantastic Mr. Fox probably my favorite. And there's some movies of his that I really don't like. I didn't like Royal Tenenbaums. I loved Rushmore. I loved Grand Budapest. Didn't like Life Aquatic. So it kind of goes back and forth for me, but I thought Fantastic Mr. Fox was just fantastic.
It's a delight. You don't see enough stop motion these days.
So we eagerly await any sort of glimpse that we can get of that. But because stop motion animation is so time consuming, we probably won't even see a trailer for quite a while. Lucky for you though, we do have some trailers of some great stuff that's right around the corner, starting with Bob and David, Netflix's unofficial sequel to Mr. Show, starring David Cross, Bob Odenkirk, and most of the rest of the original cast, including a lot more.
Yeah, so the format and sense of humor appear to be exactly the same as Mr. Show, despite being 20 years later. The sketches are a mix between stuff shot in front of a studio audience and other stuff shot more like short films. And at least from the trailer, we can see that there will be some great supporting stars like Keegan-Michael Key and, of course, original cast member Scott Aukerman.
Ooh, hot soccer mom. Netflix is releasing all of the episodes of With Bob and David on November 13th, meaning we all have less than a month to watch every episode of the original Mr. Show to prepare ourselves. And if you for some reason, I know we say this a lot, if for some reason you haven't seen Mr. Show, please go watch it. It is genre-defying as far as sketch comedy goes.
So far ahead of its time.
Yes.
It really, like every major sketch show we have now on Comedy Central.
And every big writer and comedic actor kind of like, not every, but a lot of them got their start on Mr. Show.
Yeah.
Now, slightly further away in December is the new Sherlock Christmas special, which also recently dropped a new trailer.
Yeah, so for those unfamiliar with Sherlock, it's a modern take on the classic Sherlock Holmes stories by Arthur Conan Doyle. And it stars Benedict Cumberbatch as Sherlock and Martin Freeman as Watson. Each episode is basically just a standalone 90-minute TV movie starring two fantastic English actors.
Great. This new Christmas special comes with a twist. It takes place in the late 1800s with Cumberbatch, or Crampersnatch, and Freeman playing the original versions of their characters from the novel. And based off the trailer, it looks even more cinematic than the show usually does. Now, it'll also apparently deal with some of the more supernatural elements of the original books that the show usually tries to avoid. So
yeah, this is a great example of why UK TV is better than ours in some way, because they have these shows where like, we'll make 3 episodes in the course of like 2 years, but we'll get actors like Benedict Cumberbatch and Martin Freeman who are busy off making billions of dollars for studios. They're gonna make TV stuff still.
Now, for me, the only real Sherlock Holmes will be Robert Downey Jr. forever and all time.
Well, that Sherlock Holmes is like an action star.
I know the difference.
They can exist in the same universe.
the difference. I'm just saying.
There wasn't as much just explosions in the books, I don't think.
Okay. Moving on from trailers to videos. How did you leave out the Bill Murray Christmas special out of all that?
Oh.
It exists. Go watch it. You'll find it. But moving on from trailers to videos of the week, some editors and VFX people with way too much time on their hands made The Red Drum Getaway, which is a really bizarre mashup of the films of Alfred Hitchcock and Stanley Kubrick.
Yeah, so Jimmy Stewart here finds himself running into Jack from The Shining, and then the Droogies from A Clockwork Orange, and eventually he just ends up in a crazy, nightmarish mashup of a bunch of different Kubrick films happening all at once.
It's really weird, but really well executed. This kind of compositing is not easy at all, and most of this flows together pretty smoothly. Whatever genre of video this is, we want more of it.
Mash it up.
Yeah.
Speaking of mashing up two different things to make something great, Friend Dog Studios has created the perfect Donald Trump parody, and they managed to do it using Trump's own words.
Yeah.
It's called Your Drunk Neighbor, Donald Trump, and it's exactly what it sounds like.
Yeah, it's just a drunk dude sitting on a porch wearing a bunch of American flag stuff, lip syncing to various things that Donald Trump has actually said while campaigning. And it's not just him mimicking Donald Trump, he's actually just moving his mouth and letting actual Donald Trump's voice come through. It works a little too well, especially when he starts talking about wanting to build a wall or anything related to Mexico. I will build a wall. Yeah. Peanuts.
Mexico's the new China.
Yeah.
And for our third and final video of the week, College Humor just knocked it out of the park this week with this animated Back to the Future sketch, which features Marty and Doc traveling not to the flying cars and hoverboards 2015 from Back to the Future 2, but rather the actual 2015 we all unfortunately live in.
Yeah, Doc has to sadly explain to Marty all the things wrong with today and all the ways we haven't actually lived up to the future from the movie. Auto pollution is still a huge problem, flying sucks because of the threat of terrorism, and sadly, people wear Crocs.
The worst effect. The best part, though, comes towards the end when Doc introduces Marty to today's version of the hoverboard, which is a self-balancing scooter that's absolutely useless for escaping Biff's grandson's fist.
Yeah.
And the best line happens when Doc points out a bunch of Vine stars scooting past, and Marty replies, "I don't know what Vine is, but I hate them."
Yeah, it's just beautifully done and just so timely. Yeah. Also, guys, guess what returned to TV this week?
Fargo and Nathan For You.
Yes, Nathan For You's first episode was last night coming back, and it was so good. Good to the fact of like just I couldn't even watch it. It was so intense. I was slipping into my couch in between the cushions to get away from keeping my eyeballs on the screen because that's how just in a good way cringy it was.
Nathan is a genius. He's a master of his craft.
Yeah, just a master comedian. So please watch Nathan For You with your free time this weekend. And also, season 2 of Fargo premiered. That's what I'll be watching this weekend. But I have heard that it is just as good or better than the first. It took what the first did and made it better, which I find hard to believe because Lord Malvo is one of the best villains of all time. So I have to see this, and I'll be watching it probably while you're watching this. So that's our tips for what to watch this weekend, and throwing some horror movies in there probably too, because it's October, and really enjoy yourself.
Check out our podcast from last weekend where we talked to Vern Troyer. We also went to New York Comic Con last weekend. There's a video about that where we talked to a bunch of our favorite poster artists. And of course, Weekly Weird News.
Yeah. Don't forget Tugs is over there somewhere too.
Oh yeah.
So watch that. And then tomorrow, on tomorrow's podcast, we just kind of sit around and talk about stuff. And it's actually a lot of fun. We shoot the stuff. And we had a last minute drop out, but it ended up working out because we had a lot of fun just sitting and talking about stuff that we like to talk about. So hopefully you enjoy it too.
Oh, one more thing too. We just did round 2 of the Ultimate Schmoedown. It's a little trivia contest that our friends over at Schmoes Know put together. If you want to see how that went down.
Yeah, we were up against Team Rotten Tomatoes. Very strong competitors, but you're gonna have to watch the video. We'll put a link in the description to see exactly what went down. Needless to say, we had the best intro in Schmoedown history.
By all accounts, hands down, the best intro in Schmoedown history. Probably on par with some of Hulk Hogan's best intros in his heyday before the races.
Very easily. But go to the link in the description below and check that out and enjoy the Schmoedown.